As of the time that I'm filming this, it is September 29th, and it is the tail end of Suicide Prevention Month, or Mental Health Awareness Month. Now, if this is your first time seeing one of my videos, welcome in. If you've watched one before, or maybe more, and you're coming back, welcome back. I really appreciate it. Regardless, I want to introduce myself. My name is Mel. I'm a Demon Lady VTuber based off of the Disgaea Psychic class in Disgaea 6. I love dolls, I love plushies, I love drawing, I love fairy tales and mysteries and Tetris. I play a lot of Sudoku too, and lately I've been playing rhythm games. That's a little bit about me. Now, the other thing is that I am really passionate about mental health. I have a background in sociology, so mental health has always been something important to me. But beyond just my studies, it is also important to me because for most of my life, I have dealt with suicidal thoughts and a lot of suicidal ideation. For a long time, I always thought of suicide as this way that I could get away from everything. I felt like it would be so peaceful, like drifting off to sleep and just giving me some relief. Before I go in further detail, I will make the disclaimer that I know it's a bit silly to be doing this and talking about such a topic with my VTuber model. VTubing was the way that I got enough courage to start streaming and then start making content. It gave me the courage to meet people and get out of my comfort zone. So I'm relying on it as another push. I'm relying on this again to give me the courage that I need to talk about this. The other disclaimer that I want to give is that this is not a video for people to pity me. I'm not searching or fishing for sympathy. I just want to have an open conversation. I have always been very vocal and earnest that mental health matters. I have always spoken about it very candidly on stream. I also don't have a script, as I tried writing one and I kept deleting it over and over and over again. So, talking a little bit about my experience now. As I mentioned, I've been dealing with it for most of my life. Now, I consider myself pretty lucky. I have a family who loves me, despite any of our fights. I have a warm home, and I get to eat good food, and I get to drink clean water. I do have a wonderful partner. I have lovely friends. By all accounts, I'm pretty lucky. But before I was medicated, my depression would not allow me to appreciate any of that. My depression would not allow me to be grateful for any of that, even though logically I knew that I was very lucky. It was like there was this barrier in front of me. This barrier and this heavy weight and fog that just clouded over my senses, and I just couldn't enjoy anything. I would have little moments of happiness that would never last very long, and as soon as I was alone with my thoughts again, everything would just crumble, and it would be like that fog just overtook any clarity in my head. And I hated the fact that I couldn't appreciate it. Hated it a lot, and I hated myself a lot. So much. I think I was probably my number one hater, and I think I probably still am. I always held myself to these mistakes that I made. I held them as though they defined me in my entirety, whether it was a small one, like making a spill that was an inconvenience for other people, or a big one, like a bigger fight with a friend that ended a friendship. I always held them as though those negative parts defined me and continued defining me years even after they happened. For me, it always felt like all of those mistakes just haunted me and continue to. When I'm in the position to make a mistake again, it's like it flashes through my head, my dumb idiocy that happened the first time. Sometimes the things that I hear other people say about me come back around, and it's like they're describing this cartoonish villain that doesn't even sound like me. And because I loathed myself so much, I couldn't tell if that was me or if they were just spinning up these tales about me that wasn't actually me. To me, it just felt like all of those things were just reaffirming this desire I had to hate myself and to want to kill myself. But despite that, you might be wondering whether I actually ever tried, and the answer is actually no. I've never tried an attempt, although not for very happy reasons. The reason I never tried was because any way I could come up with never had a 100% fatal rate. I was terrified making a mistake at that crucial of a moment and having to live with that mistake and the aftermath of it. And it was hard to deal with that, actually, the fact that I never tried, because at times when I see these conversations online, when I see the resources online, I think it's better to say sometimes I end up invalidating myself. It's hard not to compare to other people, but I really struggled with the fact that I never committed an attempt because I always wondered if that meant my sadness and my wish for it was not valid or real. Maybe you understand what I'm talking about, or maybe you don't. Maybe the things I'm saying make no sense to you whatsoever, but I just ask that you try and listen. I couldn't tell if my lack of attempt made my suicidal thoughts any less real, and at times there were nudges in my brain that I should give it a shot, just so that I know that it's real. And the truth and fact of the matter is that I don't need to do that. My lived experiences are real, and my lived experiences are not just sad. As I mentioned, I'm so lucky with the people that I'm surrounded by. It's just that for a long time, it was hard to see that. Now, when I was a teenager, my self loathing and thoughts were so severe that it hit a point where my partner was scared that if he went to bed one day he would message me and I just wouldn't be there anymore. And I regret every day of my life that I hurt him like that I made him scared like that. But that was what I needed to hear to finally get me to consider help again. I had this stigma in my head about medication. I was terrified of it. I was so scared of it. I was scared of the side effects that I would feel nothing. And the idea of feeling nothing seemed even scarier to my heart that felt everything. The idea of losing all of that sounded terrifying. And there's also the stigma around medication that taking it means you're weaker or that you couldn't figure it out on your own, that it's the easy way out. But hearing things go to that extent with my partner, I had to try anything at that point. I got over my fear of it. I had to, for his sake. And it made things so much better. It was gradual. It wasn't like I woke up the next day and all of a sudden all the fog in my brain was gone, but it just made everything kind of quieter. I didn't feel things so heavy anymore. One bad mistake didn't mean that I needed to harm myself. One mistake didn't carry the end of the world with it anymore. It's not like it fixed everything. Those large mistakes, those regrets that I have, they still haunt me all the time. And I'm always so deeply apologetic for hurting them, even if what happened is spread and warped in a way that I don't even recognize. Have been learning about who I am within the past couple years. I never planned to live this long. I'm in my 20s at the moment. I never even planned to make it past 18. And so I've been learning who I am the last couple years. I've been learning what relationships mean to me and what parts of them are important to me and what boundaries I need and how to enforce them. And my gosh, those things are pretty hard to learn. And at times I regret that I didn't learn them earlier. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that even if it's late, that I'm still around to do it now. that I have this channel and have gotten over my fear of sharing my dolls to the world, and that there are people who enjoy it. I'm so glad that there are people who still enjoy my art. I'm so glad that my partner doesn't have to be afraid that our lives won't be spent together. I'm so glad that my friends are so kind and patient with me, even through my mess ups. I'm so glad that I have been learning to forgive myself for the mistakes that I made, both back then when I didn't know how to survive, and now I can learn. It's Suicide Prevention Month, and it's been hard. It's been really hard. But I'm glad that I'm here to talk about it with you guys. If you need it, then I hope that you'll learn to be kinder to yourself too. I hope that you'll see all the people who cherish you and learn how to cherish yourself as much as they do, even though it can be really hard to learn how to cherish something precious to the people that you love, even if it couldn't be worth less to you. I hope that you'll see that you are not only a sum of everything that you hate about yourself. I hope that you know that you do deserve happiness, and that even if you do feel sad at the moment, that that is valid too. That those ugly feelings and those happy feelings are all part of being alive. My name is Mel, and today it's still Suicide Prevention Month, and I'm still here to talk about it. And I'm a demon lady VTuber who loves dolls and loves drawing, and I hope I can continue to share the things that I like with you all. See you next time, whether that be in a stream or a video.